Okay, well, there's a lot going on around here. Oh, hello. The Greater Revachol Industrial Harbour. Let's leave head measurer for now, shall we? Because at the end of the day, we are policemen. We do have a job to do. Kind of ignored what we were supposed to be doing. I don't think there was anything else useful from the gardener.
Hello
Nothing's
again,
changed.
officer. How are things?
Oh, I've investigated the body. Shouldn't be long till we get it down.
Oh, okay. Thanks for keeping me in the know, sir.
Okay, well, fair enough. Okay, so, what's over here? Oh, there's a person over there.
This Post-Levantorie mail collection box has been heavily vandalized with graffito. A closer inspection reveals 2 bullet holes in the front.
Ooh.
A faint sticker on the side reads, RCM Emergencies Desk number 8102, with a slogan, Mankind, be vigilant.
Good mail delivery box? Fuck you, mail delivery box. I mean, I don't understand why I'd want to kick it, so give it a nice pat.
The box seems happy.
Oh, thank you.
Eat shit pig, fucked by the coon, and St. G with a crown have been scribbled on it. Jenny is a whore, and best set mailbox also.
I feel you, mail collection box. Been there, post-love interior mail collection box. Been there. Mail collection box, you should man the fuck up. I was just gonna say, yeah, I feel you, man.
The mail collection box seems cathartic, thankful even. So do you. You shudder. Then you swallow.
Okay, so with the type of game this is, I kind of assumed that just talking to stuff and interacting with people would just be a net negative, usually, where you can just, you know, take damage. That healed me! That's really cool. Okay. Right, well, that's something to keep in mind. I've got plenty of healing items, so I don't have to worry too much about, you know, running out of morale or endurance. So, right, well, let's leave. Okay, hello.
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open.
A young girl with chubby red cheeks waves at you, smiling. Her nose is also red from the cold. Hello, I am the law. Hi. Okay. Announcing I am the law to everyone. Hi.
Are you interested in a new and exciting book?
She stomps her feet to feel warmer. What kind of a store is this anyway?
It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games. It's called Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Books? Postcards? Easy. Even a kid would know all of this.
Little girl, I know what a book is. Books are like very long letters with stories inside them. Nah, it feels inappropriate to lecture this girl. Why is that a challenging thing? Why is that a challenging check? Anyway, I'm not going to lecture this girl.
Don't be a fool. As an expert, it's your duty to tell what you know to everyone.
Hey now, I already made up my mind, or don't tell me what to do. Hey now, I already decided. Come on, come on.
Sir, are you okay? You've been standing here silently for a while now.
That's fine. Can I ask you some questions?
Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books.
What is your name?
My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register or organising the stock.
The girl gazes at the window, then suddenly jolts, her eyes wide as if recalling something. Yeah, she's not actually there, is she? She was at... When we rang the doorbell, she answered it. So she's not in the bookstore, is she?
Feel free to step in and browse our wares.
And you're standing out here in the cold because...
I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
I should have a word with the store owner, maybe? Such a good trooper you are, already learning the value of hard work. Pat her head. I could help by brutally dismantling the free market. Oh, that's too heavy. I could have a word with the store owner. This feels like an innocuous interaction, so I'm going to try it.
Thank you, sir. I'm happy to help Mum out with the store.
So shouldn't you be at school or something?
I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running.
Isn't going to school more important than this? School is stupid, you're lucky not to be there. What is school anyway? Isn't school more important than this?
Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mum says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed.
But she is literally doing child labour.
There is stress and unease behind these words. She's reciting etiquette.
How's the business going?
Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed.
Cursed in what way? Or good to hear that it's going well, I'm sure there's nothing to worry about. In what way is it cursed?
Cursed in the way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go...
Bankrupt, ass up, say nothing. Well, with her mum being a bookstore owner slash librarian, I feel like they're probably very prim and proper, so bankrupt.
Exactly. But we've been doing fine so far.
I don't think curses are real. This sounds rather serious. I should probably look into this. Yeah, why not?
We can go into the bookstore and ask about the case, but I don't see much more to look into here.
The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook. I would be curious to know what the notes Kitsuragi is doing in his notebooks are.
Yes. Please do also look at our wares inside. The postcards and board games are there, sir.
What do you know about the other failed businesses?
Nothing really, sir. Mum doesn't allow me to sneak around in the back rooms or the cellar. I don't really know what's there.
So, back rooms and a cellar to investigate. How does the curse manifest itself?
It does not manifest itself in any way. It does not exist. I liked it better when we were talking about whether it's appropriate to stand out in the freezing weather.
But Kim, the plasmic manifestations, or fine, I'll show you. Fine, I'll show you.
Anything else you wanted to talk about, sir?
What does doing the
It does not
plasmic
manifest
manifestations do?
No such thing.
He's stern and serious. Okay, fair
Anything
enough.
else you wanted to talk about, sir? Maybe I can tell you about some of our books instead.
Annette looks at your shaved, prickly chin. It distinctly contrasts with the oily mutton chops that surround it. What is this crime business? What is romance? Who are these famous people? What's this crime business?
Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals.
Not crime fiction. I need to know what crime is. Why would anyone want to read about crime? I get it. Crime murder gets the people going. So there's two things that I can do here. I mean, reading about crime is obvious because people love true crime stories, stuff like that. Getting Annette to define what crime is also interesting to see, you know, where her moral compass points. But I kind of like the sense of crime murder gets the people going.
And it's kind of like a puzzle too. You can guess who the criminal is or how the good guys are going to catch him.
I'm a policeman myself, by the way.
You don't look much like a policeman.
She examines you as if to find something policeman-like. What does the cop look like then? Maybe I'm not a policeman or should stop being one. What does a cop look like to you?
Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen.
He points to a book cover on which you see a strapping Vespertine officer. He stands grimly over the body of a dead woman. And Dick Mullen is the name of the character that the other guys in the precinct were making jokes about. I used to be exactly like that Mullen guy, then I decided to live a little. You know, nobody actually looks like the guy in the picture. That's just a stupid fantasy of a man. It's not your body that's important in police work. Anyway, it's your... points ahead. Wow, look at the guy. I'll never be good as Mullen, and actually added other questions. No, it's not your body that's important. It's your head.
Head? Yes.
No, your mind. Not head, child. Heads.
Flexibility. There are millions of different people out there, and you have to get into their heads. Sometimes you gotta be the killer to catch the killer. Well, no. A Quicksilver mind. This Mullen guy looks like he needs 4 hours just to come up with a single idea.
No, he's wicked smart in the stories.
Sure, when the author does all the thinking for him. Real policemen have to think and act on their own.
Like you, sir. Of course. He's just a fictional character. He's no match for you.
He's trying to flatter me.
Maybe you can show me some real police work, sir. Like in the books.
So the cover image of Dick Mullen seems to stare at you with harsh disapproval. So, composure of 5. I have anxious... Well, no. Annette has anxious body language and is afraid of the curse. We'll come on to this check in a little bit. So, what is romance?
It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man.
She smiles at the thought, perhaps imagining herself in the situation.
Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir.
What about a poor man with a rich lady? What about when both of the men are bad? What about when everyone's poor? What about a book where the man and lady business doesn't work out at all? And that's enough romance for now. What about a poor man getting with a rich lady?
It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process. Or should actually be rich himself, but has lost his family property unjustly, like during the revolution or something.
I see.
Those are unhappy books, for most of the pages. People sad about what they have lost, but then it all turns out just fine in the end.
What about when both of the men are bad?
These are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad and bad. Nobody wants to read a story like that.
What if it's written really well?
Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either, because she doesn't need a bad man. Yes, that would be interesting.
What about when everyone is poor?
That's really not a proper romance story. That's more like everyday life.
Sometimes you have to write about real life things, and yeah, poor people are boring. Sometimes you have to write about real life things.
Not in romance books, sir. These are about nice and pretty people, and everyone is happy in the end.
What about a book where the man and lady business doesn't work out at all?
I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mum.
Yeah? You think she has one about an excruciatingly painful breakup?
I don't think it's a romance story if the main characters break up, though.
No, think about it. One where they plunge into a torrid spiral of pain and recrimination, only it's really long and drawn out. Scarred for life, a phantom limb. Or, okay. I think we'll just go with okay.
Sometimes they break up for a little while, but then they always get back together.
Alright, that's enough romance for now.
Maybe some about other books?
So, who are the famous people?
Oh, kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and writers, or musicians, those kinds of people. There's usually something extraordinary about them.
She scratches a cold reddened cheek, then continues.
I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame.
Yeah, there's, how do I get rich quick?
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
Reading those doesn't make the readers more famous, does it?
But it does make the famous people more famous.
Fame sounds delicious. Perhaps someone will write a book about me one day. Fame is for vain people. I have better things to do. These famous people sound like a bunch of dorks. I mean, fame is kind of for vain people, when you break it down, really.
Okay, sir.
You can stop calling me sir, I am but a working man.
No, sir, I can't. It would be too tiring to refrain from it. It's already tiring enough to remember to say it all the time. It's nice of you to say I could stop, though.
I get you. I, for example, can't stop making this face. Point at your face with the expression on. Okay, yeah, when the next person comes, you have to be sir or ma'am them again. There it is then, soldier on. I think, let's point out the expression.
That's a friendly enough face, most of the time.
Oh, so she's not horrified by it. Interesting.
No,
What about the other option?
sir, I can't.
Sir it is,
By
soldier
your
on.
command.
Yeah. Alright, let's try this composure check.
The girl keeps her hands folded, hidden. Why is that?
Hey, why'd you keep your hands folded?
What do you mean, sir?
You don't need to be worried, I'm here to help. You can show them to me. I'd rather not deduce anything. Every time I deduce, people get hurt. You don't need to be worried, I'm here to help.
She looks around anxiously. Her hands remain folded in front of her. She doesn't want to show them. The lieutenant stands by, looking at the two of you with little interest.
So with this, we're trying to reassure her, being a child, that it's okay. So, it's okay.
She brings out her reddened hands, her nails frayed, nearly chewed down to the flesh.
You bite your nails.
And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded?
She shoots you a suspicious glance. Yes, there were a few other hints. It's super simple for a detective such as myself. So... No, I didn't know her hands... I didn't know she bit her nails. It was just there was something to do with her hands being folded. There were a few other hints.
Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that.
Okay. She's not impressed. Want more? I can figure out why you bite your nails. I've got a few reasons. You think so? Fine. Do better. Deduce something about me. Yeah. Asking a child to do that is not the right way. So let's see if I can actually prove things.
She nods, half provocative, half enthusiastic.
You're uptight because of your mother and the pressure she's putting on you. Rats have been nibbling on your fingers, child labour in dismal working conditions. Chewed on nails means you're recycling your body material. It's an intense dedication to the way of business. There are no riches without personal sacrifice. I think she's uptight because of the pressure her mum's putting on her.
Maybe so, sir. Okay, I know it's a bad habit, and I shouldn't.
Either way, another ace deduction by the #1 detective in town. I hope this entertained you.
It was okay, sir.
She's still got a rebellious streak.
There's more that can be achieved here. Ask her to do the same.
So, fine, deduce something about me.
You're quite sober.
The lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intensely not flinching. It takes effort.
She's figured out that I'm a drunk. How do you know I'm usually not? I'm having a grand time. I'm also sad and my head hurts. Alright, let's see if she can explain how do you know I'm usually not?
Because you usually aren't.
Okay, I'm also sad and my head hurts.
I'm sorry, sir. I hope things get better soon.
She looks you in the eye, a gleam of sympathy on her face.
There she stands, swaying on her feet, assaulted by the early spring breeze. She smiles at you. The whole situation suddenly feels familiar, somehow. There's something you're missing.
What am I missing? Ugh, suggestion of 1. It is a white check. I'll give it a go.
Because you know each
Oh.
other. She's been talking to you so openly because you've talked before.
Hang on, so you know me, we've met before. Or on second thought, maybe I shouldn't remember, there's a reason I forgot. Oh, we've met before.
Yes, I stand in this spot all the time.
She sways back and forth on her feet.
You've been running around all week without your shirt on, sir, apologising to everyone. I don't really understand what you've done wrong.
Did I ever talk to you?
Of course, you've stopped by a few times. You certainly look better than the last time I saw you.
I doubt that. What do you mean better? I look like shit. Thanks, I'm trying. I am trying.
Yeah, I can see. You don't have party eyes anymore.
Party eyes?
Party eyes. Yes, of course. That makes sense.
Party eyes?
You know, like a cat in the dark, all big and wide-eyed. It certainly looks odd on a man.
So party eyes is just a word for high.
The swiveling eyes of a loony drug addict. That is what she meant. You were probably gurning too.
Electrochemistry check?
Fuck yeah. You should get some party eyes right now. Snap those sequins on you, boy.
So, does that mean I've been partaking in narcotics? Well, that's obvious. The girl doesn't know what she's talking about, forget about this. I mean, if she knows the term for party eyes, then she does know what she's talking about. So, does that mean I've been taking him narcotics?
Oh, baby, that's not what you have to worry about. Worry about the important thing.
So, why didn't you tell me you knew me to begin with?
I didn't know I had to do that.
I don't really like this detective deduction game anymore, or thanks, I've learned something about myself. I've learned something about myself.
I'm glad I could help you, sir.
Okay, bye. See you around, Annette. Oh, okay. Let's make a save. Alright, so let's have a look at what's on the outside. A book about the future, the government reads your mind using radio technology. A book about boyadero culture, it promotes freedom and roaming upstream. This book, you don't really understand what it's about, nor does it seem important. This is a book about pate. On the cover stands a very muscular man surrounded by flames. This book has a rose, a pistol, and a half-naked dame on its cover. Right, let's try going inside. Lots of things. Alright, what's this? Gift books and molten candy. All sports magazines tucked away in a dark corner.
A small mountain of colourful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise.
Dorky, what board games do you have here? Look through the pile of Wirral-related items. So, let's just have a look.
An endless variety of source books, lore books, and codices litter the table. The topmost book is titled Welkin Compendium, 2nd edition. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Katawak, Boreal Creature Compendium, and a Pick Your Path adventure game book titled Tales of Wirral, Cavern of Velkrag. Books in a board game section? Who wants to read books?
Anything that catches my eye, or maybe I'm not into all this binoclad stuff. Does anything catch my eye?
There's a box that says Wirral, 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplements module. The side panel notes, a fantastique adventure board game, new maps and miniatures. A sticker on it displays 25 real.
Alright, so I can't afford that.
That price is steep, but then it's the 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplement, so it makes sense.
It's interesting that the option to get the Wirral game is locked. So I'm assuming then there is no option to steal it. What board games do you have here, Storky?
Wonderful board games, sir. The Viticulturist is a classic for sure, or perhaps you'd like Archipelagos of Insulinder, a very educational game for those interested in geography. Raubritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children.
Look at me who'd want to have children with me. I don't feel as if I have any kids. Yes, kids, friends, chicks, I have all those. I don't feel like I've got any kids.
Friends are technically like family.
He fiddles with her pendant, thinking.
For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize and repress other civilizations. It'll cost 12 real.
Okay. So again, buying the board game Suzerainty is also locked. What about all these Wirral things?
Lousy auras there. No, role-playing games are popular among those types. You know, who are into those kind of things. Personally, I don't like it. Not at all.
Yes, I'm not a dork.
I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts. That they have rituals where they try to summon entities. Highly immoral stuff. You can still buy them, though.
Okay, well, I think that's enough for now. Before we talk to the woman, let's go and see what's going on in the floor itself.
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
So this is the back rooms that Annette doesn't know anything about.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
So, what's behind the curtains? Examine the strange cage-like trinket. Pull open the curtains. Oh, let's just ask her.
Nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books. Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? The books are all you care about.
She speaks almost as if she's trying to put a spell on you, urging you to buy more books. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become.
Examine the strange cage-like trinket.
You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you. This is a traditional Seminese ward, meant to provide protection against ill luck, bad dreams, curses, and other supernatural scourges.
So this is a good thing to investigate, because obviously Head Measurer being a Seminese supremacist, knowing more about who are the Seminese would be handy.
Inhabitants of Ile de Fantôme, the Seminine Islands, down south. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. The curtains remain shut before you.
So there is nothing... Yeah, I didn't get anything out of that. Alright. Well, I am a police officer. Let's pull open the curtain.
Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more.
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers.
Her hand has closed around her pendant, her fingers nervously playing with the talisman.
Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous.
So that's why the charm in front is because he believes in the paranormal?
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
This is about the curse, that's why you're afraid. Ma'am, this is different. I'm a police officer. I need to get in there. I sense this place calling for me. I must investigate beyond the threshold. I don't care. You can't stop me. I'll open them. Alright, I'll think about it for a while. About the curse?
No, it's just a storeroom for the employees. I told you. Now please step away from the curtains.
She is almost begging you, and if it is just a storeroom, she wouldn't be trying to stop me this much. I need to get in there.
Why? It's not like anyone was killed there.
She stops abruptly as her hand flies over her mouth, baffled by her own bluntness.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't allow that. You'll only make things worse and unleash the powers.
She knows something about someone dying.
The curtains do seem frail suddenly, not robust enough to contain a slippery darkness.
Alright. We'll come back to this. We'll come back to this.
Thank you. Let's just talk about this first, all right? There's no reason for you to venture into the unknown.
That's fair enough.
Talking is always good. Go see what she has to say. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if taunting you.
Ignore the curtains for now. Alright. So, oh, there was something there that I didn't quite catch. So, we'll investigate the rest of the shop and then see what she's got to say. The book collects the national recipes of Arda. They are all about lake trout.